Happy Wednesday, everyone. We are back from California. We had a fantastic weekend. Vicky did an awesome job posting those videos. We got so many great comments. It just couldn't have been a more successable weekend. Ryan and Amy were able to make a profit and put money in their pocket.
Good profit too.
Yeah, they did. I would say they probably profited about $500 for a day and a half. That ain't bad. And they gave out tons of cards. Tons of actual questions on commercial signs and possible dealers in town. It was a win-win. It was just so much fun.
Had a couple of businesses from across the street behind them that came over and bought signs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it was a great exposure being right there in that little town where Ryan and Amy are. If you guys haven't seen the videos yet that Vicky posted remotely, go check them out. They were terrific. Just 2 or 3 minute videos, but they're just packed with stuff. So, in case you didn't see it, this was Ryan's display. So what we're going to do today, by the way, I'll talk as you're kind of looking at that. We're going to kind of go over a few more things that we didn't do on the wrap-up. So I guess this is kind of a wrap-up of a wrap-up kind of thing after the show. This was a display that I got an idea from a guy that sent me a picture probably, I think it was just a week or two ago, that he made a sign display for out in front of his house, I think, out of some old pallets. So a few days before the show, I was talking to Ryan, and he was asking about displays. I said, you know what, why don't you see if you can find a pallet? And he works on construction sites, so he found this big, I think it was even bigger than that, and he cut the top of it off, and he put feet on the bottom, 2x4, runners on the bottom, and then we just kind of bungeed it to that post there where our power was, and it just worked out phenomenal. It was just terrific.
You might want to remind him too, put signs, if you got people walking behind you, put displays behind you.
Yeah, depending on your location of where you're at and how your thing is set up. We had actually a street right behind us. If you watch the videos, you'll see that. And there was people walking behind our booth. So we actually put some display signs facing the street behind us. So keep that in mind. You might need more sign displays that you put behind you, just depending on where you're at and your location. So we wanted to kind of go over some essentials that maybe we didn't mention before. Of course, Ryan did mention board prep. Make sure that your boards are all done. And I mean, edged, sanded, black on the edge, and that's what we do. Holes drilled for the screw eyes and S-hooks. The other thing is, be sure and have your pricing down. You don't want to figure it out when you're out there on the fly. Have your pricing all figured out. Now, here's the best thing that I can suggest to you as far as being prepared if you're going to go out on site. Pick a spot, either in your garage, in your yard, whatever, and set up your sign carving booth just like you would be at your location. Everything that you would need. Set it up, start to finish, and carve a sign. Because you don't want to be out there and then say, oh, I forgot that. So set up, and I did that before I set my operation up in Oatman. I built my building, and I completely was completely self-contained. All I had to do was run power to it, and everything I needed was in there. So that's a great way to start a checklist. You can start a checklist without doing that, but that's how you really get a detailed checklist. Everything that you're going to need. A few other essentials is bags. This is what we didn't have, and I had forgot about them. I ordered these from bagsonthenet.com, I think, or it might be bagsonthenet.net. But they're just sleeves, but you can get them anywhere. But these work out really well to hand to your customers to put their signs in, because they're carrying it around, and people can see that it's a carved sign. So I think the clear bags is a great idea. Another thing that you don't want to forget, have plenty of router bits. That's one thing that we could have had more of, is router bits. We only had a couple profile bits, and they kind of got dull. They kind of got caked up with stuff. And in that regard, I would have at least 3 of each of your router bits, because you just never know. And then take your little Dremel with your brass wheel, if you have one of these, for cleaning your router bits. We clean them after the end of every day. When we were carving, we clean them, and I clean mine you know, fanatically. I clean my bits. If you don't clean your bits, then your bit will appear and feel like it's dull just because it's not clearing the chip out of there, and it will kind of drag on you, when in fact the router bit may be sharp. And then in another note on that, you guys that send me your router bits to sharpen, I've got no problem cleaning them. But right now, honestly, I spend more time cleaning the router bits before I sharpen them because I have to clean them. If you guys could clean them for me before you send them in, whether you're premium members or just paying the $7 a piece to sharpen them, if you could clean them before you send them. If you don't use this, you can use, you know, whatever process that you have for cleaning. I know there's some other ways to clean them, but if you can clean them before you send them to me, that would be a huge help. Save me tons of time.
Take a breath.
Huh? Oh, am I talking? Was that all one breath?
That was all one sentence.
I got a lot of stuff to do. What else? Oh, business cards. Do not forget business cards. Oh, the other thing, a rubber stamp for the back of your signs. If you're going to use a rubber stamp, that's what I would suggest. If you're not going to use a rubber stamp, then you could staple a business card. Just make sure your staples aren't too long and go through your carving or the other side of your board if you're using thin boards. But business cards, essential.
You probably gave out
couple hundred. I would say a couple hundred cards at least.
If they stopped and looked, they got a card.
Yeah, along with cards that went with customers. So there was tons of, I think they're going to get tons of follow-up business, you know, probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So business cards is essential, and every sign has to have your mark on it on the back so these people know where to get their sign. Their future signs or their relatives know where to get them. Gosh, I think that was just about it, wasn't it?
Make sure you have a cash box, lots of change.
That's a good idea.
A receipt book.
A receipt book.
That's important.
Very important. The other thing that I found, and I kind of shared it with them, when we took an order, when they were getting stacked up, when we took an order, we told the people how long it would be. An hour, half hour, hour and a half, whatever it's going to be. Calculate it based on how many you've got to do, and then write down on the receipt book when they're due back. So if it's noon and you told them an hour and a half, I would write 1:30 on the receipt book. That way when you're laying out from that way you know when that sign really needs to be done. Chances are they're going to be back before that, but you know that if you're within your time frame. And when things get chaotic, it can really, you can lose track of that really easily.
I have a suggestion also.
Yeah.
When you're taking an order, have your customer write what they want on the sign. Make sure they spell it for you, and then that you go over it with them.
Letter by letter.
Letter by letter. We had one gentleman order the biggest sign that Ryan made, like he said. We thought it was in Spanish, so we didn't know. And one of the letters looked like an E, and it was actually an A.
An A, yeah.
So that, make sure you go over the spelling with them after they write it down on the receipt.
Yeah.
Give them a copy of the receipt, and you keep a copy.
Printing, if at all possible. You would rather not have cursive. Printing, always, if you absolutely can. Oh, I didn't even talk about this. Okay, so one of the things that you saw in the videos, you saw those little plastic baggies hanging. Those were the layout templates that we had, probably 50 to 100 different items that we could carve on signs. So, but that was really inconvenient, very inconvenient. It was better than not doing it, but it was very inconvenient. So we came up with a way, if you're going to do it, take your layout templates, spray them.
Can it straighten it up there?
Spray them black. That's what I did here. I put them on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Vicky took a picture of it, printed it out, and then we put them in these page protectors, and you could have a whole binder of these things that would really show kind of what they look like when they're carved, because these are black, and most of these layout templates we do inset. I think they look best that way. So that's a great way. You could have, you know, 100 to 200 to 300 layout templates. You could do front and back.
You can get those at the dollar store for 12 of them.
Oh yeah,
$1.
they're cheap. And so that's what we suggest, a great way to show what layout templates that you can carve on your signs. I think was all pretty much the highlights that we talked about. Did I talk about the hooks and eyes? Hooks and eyes. I get those in bulk at androckhardware.com. Now, I think you can even buy them when I say bulk, I buy them generally 5,000 at a time. But I think you can buy them in boxes of 100 as well. So much cheaper, like a fraction of the cost if you buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever. So that's really a good tip. We give hooks and eyes away with every sign. You don't have to, but that's what we do. As far as pricing goes, the way Ryan priced his signs is basic, kind of a base price, like a $25 for a base price, and then every piece of artwork that they wanted on there, an extra $5, which is really cheap because that's a lot of work. But and that worked out well, and everybody kind of knew that process and that calculation. So that is about it. I'm sure we'll get more questions. If you have questions, let us know. Let's do the sign covers of the day. This one's really cool, from Ivan Koleknek, I think. What is it? Does this say it's his first sign?
Kitchener. Oh, he's from Canada.
Yeah, he's from Canada.
First sign.
He's
with
a
our
Canuck.
bits. With our bits.
Yeah, first sign with our bits. Great job.
Very cool.
Yes, and now some of these, I probably got a month or two ago because we have such a large stack. Floyd Bassett. Dog paws. Pet signs are very, very popular, guys. That's a niche you could definitely go after. Pet signs are hugely popular.
Second sign. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, so that is it for today. So, announcements. Friday is going to be that big demo unless my computer crashes again. But I'm hoping I got it figured out now. So Friday will be that big demo on that collaboration that I thought was going to be last Friday, but it didn't. The LTS is coming up on the 29th. Now, I am leaving on Thursday. Dad and I are going to Alaska to do our fishing thing. Vicky will be here. Vicky's running the business, so if you guys need anything, you can email me. I'll be checking my email. But Mondays and Wednesdays videos for next week will probably be much like what Vicky did. I'll be doing it with my iPhone from either a fishing boat or we're going to be going to my sister's sign operation in Anchorage, and we're going to be there while they're actually set up. So that would be another valuable thing for you. I think you guys will enjoy that. We're looking forward to it. So anyway, questions, comments, let us know. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, share the video. We need you guys to pass the word for us, if you would. I guess that's about it.
That's about it.
Yep. So hopefully Friday's video will be up. Again, I filmed it a while back, but I think it'll be valuable for you. It was fun to make, and it came out pretty good. So thanks again, you guys. We will see you guys. We'll see you from Alaska next week. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye-bye.